Hey, good morning everybody. We've got a nice morning. I'm going out now to the track here in Beacon. It's probably the most humid point in the day, but it is a little bit cooler this morning. It's around 69, 70 degrees. So we should have plenty of time to get in a good workout before it warms up. And yeah, we've just got some 200 meter repeats today. Let's get out there and get it done. Still moving a little too fast, but I'm liking it. It's consistent. I'm just gonna finish like this. I'll take a look at the end at how fast I really went. Definitely more than I meant to as far as the pace. But again, consistent, feeling okay. Last one. All right, guys, that's it. 200 meter workout is done. It's always pretty short. You know, the total mileage is not that long because it's only a 200 meter sprint or, you know, fast rep and then only 200 meter recovery. So by the time you're done, even if I did 8, you know, I'm only like 2 miles deep for the actual workout. So with the warm up, it was about 3 miles. I did a little bit of cool down as well. We'll head inside. I've got a couple of packages that came that I want to check out. I think I know what they are. So I'll show you guys what came in the mail, a couple of things for running, and we'll break down the workout as well, just a little bit more, and call it a day. We'll get back inside because it's sunny now, the sun's coming over the trees, and it's just warming up fast. Alright guys, we finished, just had to pull in some of those groceries, got lots of good fresh fruit and vegetables. Now let's take a look at these packages I got here. The first one here is a pair of shoes, I know what those are. And then the second thing, this is the first time that I've ever tried smart wool socks. I've never tried wool socks before. You know, these are like a sports merino wool. I guess to some extent, maybe some of the Tracksmith gear that I have is technically a wool. I actually don't remember, but I really like the Tracksmith material. But these, you know, they don't feel like a thick wool. They're not winter socks. Obviously the fall is coming, so I figured, you know, even if they're a little bit warmer, it's fine. I'll have use for them very soon. A couple of my socks are just getting holes in them. I tend to get holes like up by the toes as I just run through them, you know, after many times out on the road. But these feel very much like summer socks. They're very thin. They're gonna be great to wick away moisture and things like that. So even though they're wool socks, they are by no means like a winter sock only. I went with a low profile and everything, so we'll give these a try. But yeah, first time trying socks from Smartwool. So I got 2 pairs, one white and one black. let's reveal these, drum roll, and boom, another pair. These are the Next Percent 2. I do have a pair of these, but I figure as I go into marathon season, I may want a pair for the Chicago Marathon if I want to go all out, and if the weather conditions are right, I'll have a fresh pair of these. Or I've already had these, but I'm still torn between what shoe I'm going to use for Chicago. This is the Alpha Fly Next Percent, and obviously this is, like I said, the Next Percent 2. I still have not chosen which one of these shoes I'm actually going to use. I'm not going to buy a new pair of Alpha Flies. These are relatively low mileage. I did really well in these, I think, for the fitness I was at in the New York City Half Marathon earlier this year in 2022. So I think they work really well. I'm more comfortable, I think, in these. They're just more familiar to me. They're a little bit lighter. I know I'm a heavier guy, so the weight difference isn't huge and doesn't make a really big difference, but I'm still torn. I don't know really how much more benefit I get in these versus these, so we'll still see. I have to make a decision, and I'll keep you all posted on what my final choice is on my race shoe for Chicago. But I have a new pair. They were heavily discounted, so that's what ended up happening, and how I ended up getting a pair of those. So those will go away for now, and probably will be left for a decision whether they're used for Chicago. All right, so enough talking about everything else. Let's review the run from this morning, because I'm sure you're interested to see some of the splits. I'm just going to put them up on your screen now and talk about what I was probably supposed to hit as a pace for my current fitness. So here's the intervals that I did, or each 200 meter rep. Each rest period is in between. I just did 200 meters continuous as a fast rep, then a 200 meter cool down right into the next interval, and went around the track like that. So they came in probably at an average around 44 seconds per rep. And I'd say my target pace when I look at my current fitness and use some of the calculators to find where my 200 should be, they're probably supposed to be closer to like 55, maybe down to like 47 seconds might be like considered a faster rep for where I am as far as like half marathon and marathon fitness. So I definitely was quick, and it's not a good example to go too fast or go faster than you're supposed to. The goal is just to do the appropriate pace, the number of intervals that will grow as you go through your training plan. But for me, I think I mixed up the 400 meters because it's 1 minute and 37 seconds is like the fast rep. 1 minute and 44, 45 seconds or something is my 400 meter time. So I got confused and mixed those up on the track, but they actually felt very comfortable. And I think the reason that is for me, I've always been earlier in my life, before I really got into distance running, more into like explosive sports. I was more of a sprinter. I was a thrower in track. I did a little bit of football. I like soccer. A lot of sports that you focus a lot more on sprinting and resting and sprinting and resting. So my body is more accustomed to that over my entire life. Only in the last 5 years or so have I done distance running and things like that. So I always tend to find that I can sprint a lot quicker and more comfortable than most people who maybe focus on distance running for a long time, just because that's, again, like how my muscles grew up and what they developed into were just explosive sports, explosive activities. So 200 meters for me, I can do that pretty comfortably, a little bit faster than I'm supposed to. And that's not to say that that was intentional for me, but that's just probably what happened. And when I mixed up the 400 time and the 200 time, that's why it still feels, I think, really comfortable. It's just I have a lot of experience with that. I used to, when I was doing track, even when I was a thrower, I did like 30-second 200 meter reps with the short distance sprint team every once in a while. Like, I could do that. So again, my body I probably couldn't do that now. But just to kind of explain, I guess, why that was comfortable for me, and just to urge you not to go too fast when you do your own workouts, but that's what happened. Pretty quick, pretty short at total distance because we were doing a much shorter rep, but it's good to get that turnover, especially at a little bit of a faster pace. Again, my cadence goes very high. I'm able to practice those quick feet on the 200 meter reps. And, I get a good heart rate spike as well because I'm using 200 meters where my heart is pumping, 200 meters to recover, but you're very quickly back into that 200 meters. So if you look at my heart rates and things like that, it edged into that anaerobic area of a workout. And you can see I spent a good amount of time, even with only 44-second reps, I spent a good amount of total time in that like threshold or higher heart rate range. So overall, good workout. I think a good one to balance out a week of otherwise a little bit slower running, right? I'm just doing a lot of easy runs this week and preparing for a long, slow distance run of about 20 miles this weekend. So I think I enjoy just having a little bit of turnover built in at a shorter overall distance earlier in this week. So great workout overall, and just happy with how everything went and how my body's feeling also after that long marathon pace run this past weekend. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.